It was another week of From with a lot of characters involved, a lot of stuff happening, but none of it was really new and it felt like we were watching the same old stuff. Welcome back, guys, to Fog Entertainment. Time to review From Season 3, Episode 3. Once again, we were left on a big cliffhanger. Looking really forward to seeing if this cliffhanger is legit or not, but we're going to have to wait a week until we find out. And what we got before that was pretty much stuff that we'd already seen before. Whether it be Boyd talking with Father Catry, whether it be Jade seeing dead people, whether it be Jim being a bad father, I guess, or we have got Fatima. Last week we seen her eating rotten and again doing the same thing this week. The other kid was sleeping. I mean, good for him. You know, it felt like we just got the same old stuff that we've been seeing for a long time now. So, yeah, let's get into it.
Yeah, let's get into it. Boyd, for me, didn't really do much this episode. Talked about, we're going to trap a monster, we're going to do this, and then all he really did was talk about it, speak to Father Catry, and again, it's like if he's going to speak to Father Catry about, 10 times a season, it leaves me each time different. I feel like each time's the same. Talk about the same, you can't save them all. Donna says the same things to him, and then all Boyd does is really, at the end, he just goes into Randall, we're going to swap. You get the headquarters, I get the bus. I want to see them. Well, you know what, Boyd, mate? You could just, open the blinds on your wee police headquarters and you could see them. Did he really, is it really necessary for him to swap with Randall, if you think of it?
Could they not both have the bus?
Well, yeah.
Or does Boyd maybe not trust Randall?
It doesn't trust him. I don't know. I think they're making Randall very antagonistic for no reason. I feel like that should have ended last season.
Yeah.
When he's got a gun, he doesn't want to give it up, and then you had the whole thing at the end of season 2 where he was infected as well with Julie, and I can't remember. I think it was Kristi's girlfriend as well. I mean that is so forgettable.
Yeah, that's almost like that didn't happen. None of them ended up dying.
But I feel like season 2 is just irrelevant. Like, Boyd's talking this episode, it's about time we take the fight to them. It's about time, we go for the Hail Mary shots.
It felt like they did that in season 2, though.
Yeah, it's like...
Albeit, it was different. Instead of torturing them and getting answers, he just killed one. But, they still killed it. They still did experiments. They done an autopsy and stuff like that. I mean, it does kind of feel like we're going for the same thing. I thought one of the big talking points and one of the things we'd focus on in this episode would be the attempt to catch them. But honestly, man, we seen Boyd building a little bit of something, but I mean, we didn't really get any closer to. And even then, I think what he was doing was creating a memory board. He didn't really do much in terms of. So in terms of catching a monster, we don't really seem to be any further forward, to be honest, than we were last week, which is kind of disappointing. We start off with Jim. He's on the phone. Obviously, he's talking to someone claiming to be Thomas, but we know it's not Thomas. The voice then tells Jim that, he shouldn't be letting his kids play outside so close to dark, and Jim bottles it, runs out, demands his kids get in the house, gets a little bit tense with Boyd, but of course, rather than tell Boyd, I just had someone on the phone claiming to be my dead son, Jim doesn't acknowledge that because in From they don't share anything with each other, and Jim just says, things are changing around here, things are getting worse. Like, why wouldn't Jim just say to Boyd, I just had a phone call from someone pretending to be my dead son?
Yeah, but...
It's nothing that's worth mentioning to Boyd, no?
He should have said to him, but see this whole things around here are getting worse. The monsters have been playing mind games since the fucking beginning. Since we've ever seen them. This is nothing really new. I mean, I guess the whole Thomas
gimmick. Yeah, no, but is that not worth sharing with Boyd? Boyd's like, are you alright, Jim? You look a bit tense, Jim. Is everything okay, Jim?
I feel like the Jim characters... I think he's definitely dying. We did death predictions a few weeks ago, but I look at this guy and I think he's ran its course. I see no development. I just see a guy who's going to lose his mind. But then, I don't know. It's Tabitha going to get back in. We'll get to that later on, but it's like the guy has the scene with Ethan and Julie, which we may as well talk about here. Ethan's like, where are we going to bury her? He's like, who? Mom!
Yeah, and then he talks about, what if she rots to bones? What if all the beasties are eating her? And then Jim shouts at him and says, enough of that. Your mother's not dead. Ethan storms off like a little crybaby bitch because he's just an annoying character. And then Julie says, congratulations. Way to win Parent of the Year. Well, I tell you what, man. You were only winning Big Sister of the Year when you just arrived there and you fucked off and left your little brother to, go and be a whore in the faraway house or whatever it is. So I don't really get where she comes off, acting all tall and mighty here, having to go to gym. Ethan was being annoying, and you know what? He's lucky Jim didn't slap him.
Yeah, I mean, if he was a bit older, you could dare say he was making fucking light of the situation, but but that's his gym, man. I guess he didn't need to take a wee hissy fit with the food he was preparing, but he should have been like, one more fucking word, Ethan, and I'll lock you outside these doors and feed you these monsters sort of talk. But yeah, you're right. Julie, she got there, and fuck my family, I'll go sleep in the halfway house with people I don't know. That was fucking cringe, man. It was El Generico time of...
I want to rebel.
Yeah, I want to rebel in a situation where...
Well, you shouldn't be making your family's life more difficult than it is.
Yeah.
They've got enough to worry about rather than you up at some, strange fucking house. Do you know what I mean?
But this is where she should tag team and help Jim and be like, Ethan, we don't know if Mom's dead or not, and that attitude isn't going to help the situation, so shut up. That's not nice what you're doing to our father.
Yeah, I mean, it just...
Why does she... you're not going to win Father of the Year. Yeah, you're big sister, son of the year, mother of the year. I don't think anyone in this show's going to win any fucking awards the way it's going, but honestly, just fucking filler.
Yeah, Tabitha and Henry, there's a bottle tree, so they want to go and see that because obviously that reminds Tabitha of...
Also, there was another scene, right, with Victor, where he digs up this suitcase.
Oh, I was going to get to that in a minute, but...
No, but it's he goes to Sarah, we need to build a fort. Build a fort? Where's that going?
Yeah, so we see Victor, he walks out and he starts digging. He's got a map, so I'm assuming that he's, buried something in the past. Originally, I thought he just had enough of the faraway house or the halfway house and wanted to move in with Sarah, but it looks like they want to build something. Why is he going to her, though, out of everybody? Victor just seems a bit of a loner. I don't know why he's going, or maybe they're both outcasts. I don't really know. We find out about, obviously the bottle tree on the outside. So, yeah, we have that. But yeah, she asked Henry to show the source or whatever. And it's in the backyard, so... Henry then mentions that Miranda created another bottle tree in the park that's 30 minutes away, so they decided they're going to go and see this one. I don't know why. You've seen one, you've seen them all, really.
Well, apparently that's the original one, which, what significance is that going to hold? Who knows? But...
we got Victor in a suitcase, so we have that. Tilly catches Fatima eating rotten fruit, or rotten food even, and then she says, well, I used to lick eggshells, and I think that licking eggshells is slightly different from eating rotten food. You know what I mean? It's like, come on.
Yeah, it's like, why is she not open to the idea that maybe this world isn't meant to have these kids, and because then you can, and then whipping out the cards and I think Fatima was right here, but see this halfway house or whatever it's called, faraway halfway.
I don't like any of the characters.
I didn't like them in season 1. By God, it is awful. I don't think I've ever seen a show where. I'm not saying the cast is split because obviously they are still a part of the town at the end of the day, but it's like I don't even like Donna anymore.
Put it this way: see if the halfway house got attacked and everyone in it died.
It's called the colony house. That's the word.
See if the colony house
just
got attacked and it died. Everyone in it died. I think the show would be able to go on. I don't think there'd be that much of a loss.
No.
Alright, I get it. Donna was a pretty big part. Fatima and Ellis, I get it. Victor lives in the halfway house, right? That would suck and whatever. But I think the show would continue. See if everybody in the town died. And how could the halfway house... It'd be done. It'd be finished.
Who's the new kid that came off the bus and just sleeps all the time? What's he doing?
Yeah, he just sleeps, so I don't
and there's crows coming as soon as the cards are about to reveal Fatima's. So obviously... But again, it's just keeping things... I feel like the show is doing too much mysterious hidden shite. And it's like Boyd, it's like, my plan to catch a creature. It's like, fucking do something about it.
Yeah, and you know what? I mean, I think bringing Father Catcher back for that one scene in season 2 was great. Or did they bring him back for the finale of season 1 as well? Or am I making that up?
I think they did, aye.
See, the first time they brought him back, I thought it was a great scene. See, the second time they brought him back, I thought it was pretty good. But they're just getting to the point now where they've watered it down, and I'm thinking... If you wanted Father Boyd and Father Catcher and Boyd to interact so much, then why did you kill him?
Yeah, I feel like at this point...
It loses its appeal.
Yeah.
We bash The Walking Dead, right? And we do, and rightfully so. But see when Shane came back for Rick's final episode, nothing that felt great.
Yes, but if he came back every 3 episodes, man, it would be shite.
Yeah, so
This is his second appearance this season.
yeah,
And dare I say he'll appear more.
and all he really did was do this. I mean, he just kind of warned Boyd about this trap, and then Donna did the same thing. So it's not like Falicatri is, giving us, like stuff that no one else is.
Yeah, just absolute. And then Donna greeting, man, it's like, oh, you're putting others at risk, Boyd. It's not just your... What are you going to do about it, Lardass?
Yeah, Jade has more visions. He sees someone impaled through a tree, kind of like the woman in season 2, which kind of went nowhere as well. But it's not legit. That woman was legit. I mean, actually, who was she, by the way? Is there humans living here that we don't know of, that haven't been interacting with the town folk in the colony house?
I think she was on the bus. Was she not? Aye, she was the girlfriend of the boyfriend who they were camping in the bar.
Alright, fair enough. I must have missed that, but I thought she was just a complete newbie. Anyway, Jade's got these visions, but they're not real, so it's just, it's like, you see somebody, but you don't. Just like the kid that came off the bus and he seen that ghost last year and they thought they were drowning him, but it just seems like a cop-out, where you're not really seeing anything. And then he discovers red rocks. Don't really know what red rocks are supposed to do, but his mental state just, gets worse. He freaks out, he wants to go back to town. Kristi goes with him, tries to stop him, then she gets caught in a bear trap, which is not good. So they have to struggle to get her out of the bear trap. It's getting darker. Jade and... what's that other guy called? Jade and... Dale. They go and get, like, metal rods that they've seen in some sort of... I don't know even what... not a statue, but some sort of, like, shrine or something.
Aye, something like that.
Some weird sort of symbol. So they get the metal rods. They manage to pry Kristi's foot out, but... at this point, it is beginning to look pretty dark, and if Kristi is injured, I mean, how far away is their, like, setup with the talisman?
I actually don't think it was that far.
And also, there was a couple of no-name characters out with them, and they just completely disappeared as soon as Kristi got her foot stuck. So God knows where they are. Maybe they're in the, the hut with the talisman, I guess.
I don't know, man. Kenny goes for body wanting to kill people. Oh, I'm going to kill all the monsters to, like, fucking getting less.
Yeah, I mean, I think Kenny's rage should have been... it just didn't make any sense to me.
Yeah, and this just felt like filler. Like, let's be honest, right? Bear trap, she's going to get patched up, man, and it's going to be like it never even happened.
I tell you, Kenny took his father's death worse, and he took it finding out that Sarah was the one that done it worse. He's almost just got over his mother's death here.
Yeah.
I think we should have seen Kenny on the ropes for at least a few episodes.
Yeah, and if on the ropes means he was going to go into the tunnels and start laying the smack down, then go ahead.
Yeah, we have Fatima reading her tarot cards, and she gets interrupted by a crow. The crow just flies through the window. Is this a sign that there's something wrong with her baby? I mean, we don't know. I don't know. What did you think?
I mean, obviously it's going to be something... well, we already know something's wrong, but... I don't understand this though, but it's like, this is this world, it's the monsters playing mind games, it's like, this is just fucking filler, I don't care.
Yeah, Fatima asked the cards about her baby's health, and the crow flies in, and that basically stopped it. So
how long can this keep going on though, where she's got something wrong, the baby's got something wrong with it, and, I mean, is this going to come to a head next episode or the one after, or is this going to get dragged out to the season 3 finale?
we don't. Well, let's hope not. I mean, I think Fatima's baby thing should be getting... I'd wrap that up in the next couple of episodes.
Absolutely. Episode 5, please. Thank you.
Tabitha is on her way with Henry to find this bottle tree, the original one. She looks in the glove department. She comes across a bracelet, the same bracelet that she made for Jim, I believe, when she was in the town. I think she made it when she was in the town. And she's freaked out by this bracelet.
She made it and he made it for her in the hospital when one of their kids were born, and then she found it in the town again.
Alright, anyway, Henry explains that Miranda made the bracelet for him, but Tabitha says, nah, the bracelet's a step too far. She kind of maybe believes that Henry's in on it, and that she thinks she's still back in the town, and that she's not escaped, and it's like, I think she freaked out too much here. Look at everything that's happened. Why is a bracelet beyond her belief? So everything else she can accept, but finding the same bracelet in the glove department, she can't accept that. But she accepted the bottle trees and stuff like that.
Yeah. I mean, she realised she discharged herself from the hospital, wrong her mother, obviously found out stuff, and this is what makes her think she's still in the town.
What this felt like just an excuse to have Tabitha freak out so that Henry would try and grab her back into the car and they could have this car accident. Because that's what happens. He grabs her back in, he tries to, speed off to where the bottle tree is, and they get in a crash. So, but they could have done it a better way, I think.
No, absolutely, they could have done it a better way, man. But again, like, what was the bottle tree going to do? Who really knows? But Randall,
Randall sees the locusts again on the bus.
Who fucking cares?
And it's that we've seen them before. What is the big deal? I mean, what? Boyd then gets on the bus and he wants to watch the creatures at night, but he has to swap with Randall. I don't know why Randall needs to be in Boyd's office. I mean, what difference would it make if that's empty?
No, I don't get that. It just feels forced for these two to have a conversation.
But yeah, Boyd's going to be on the bus, so I mean, you'll get up close and personal, I guess, with the monsters. Is he going to try and trap one on the bus? We'll have to wait and see what happens. But this Randall guy for me isn't doing anything. Just there, really, isn't he?
Yeah,
just be a little bit antagonistic.
You had Randall, Julie, and Marielle, right? They were
also wasn't in this episode.
Yeah, she wasn't in this, but they were possessed, right? Honestly, Randall and Marielle could have all died. Those two could have died.
Could have took Julie at the game as well, to be fair, I would have complained.
Yeah, but my point is, it's like, at least she's like the daughter of Jim and Tabitha. There's a bit of weight there. Randall and Marielle, what are they doing? Nothing, man. And that leaves us to the end, which at least this was actually worth something.
Yeah, so this was probably for me the best part of the show. I was excited about it. Tabitha and Henry, they're in an ambulance. Henry doesn't look too good. We actually don't know if he's going to survive. They're going to the hospital. Tabitha's like, I don't want to go, just let me out here. And then the ambulance stops, and I could just tell straight away because you could see, like, through the driver's side when the camera was focusing on him, it was just like trees. And I thought, this is a pretty strange route they're taking to the hospital. And then the driver stops, and as soon as he starts to slow down, you just know. And he goes, there's a tree up in front, and Tabitha cannot believe it because obviously, that is the same situation where she and her family, the Matthews family, came across when they got taken into the town. So that was the cliffhanger, and I'm annoyed that it ended that way because I really want to find out what happens next, but I think it's typical From fashion that it does end in a cliffhanger.
We haven't watched the promo, right? So honestly, we're just speaking blind here. I honestly think that they've ruined Tabitha being out in the outside world if they're already back in.
Yeah,
I think it's far too soon.
I mean, could it just be a coincidence where there's a storm or something and this random tree's down and it's not them getting back into the town? I mean, it could be. Could this be a hallucination? Is maybe Tabitha just like Henry? Is she maybe knocked out cold or something and she's going to wake up in the hospital? I mean, that could happen, I guess, but like, I just think that if this wouldn't even really explain how she made it back in.
Yeah, it wouldn't.
See if this is legit, man, and they're all in. I think that's very poor.
I agree.
Because I think there's more that needed to be explored on the outside. I think that Tabitha should get back in, and I wouldn't want it to be right at the end of season 3, but I think it's way too early for it to happen now. But I mean, we'll see what happens, and obviously it's going to be hard for her to convince the ambulance crew here. We need to find a talisman, or we need to find a house or whatnot.
And what you got to bear in mind, there's a policewoman in the back here.
Yeah, there is. So I mean, that could be interesting. Maybe she'll think Tabitha's going crazy, might arrest her. But I think they're going to do a cop out here. I don't imagine that this will be them back in.
No, I think it could just be a fallen tree over.
Or it could just be a hallucination or something like that.
Aye, something like that, and we'll see how it goes. But for me, I mean, it was a good cliffhanger, but...
It was a good cliffhanger, but overall, I thought the episode was kind of dead. Like, there was a lot happening, but I don't think much of it was interesting, really. I mean...
It feels like a part 1 of 2 episode.
Yeah, look, guys, I'm going to give it a 5 out of 10. It was my least favourite of the 3 so far.
Yeah, I'll call it straight down the middle. It's a 5 out of 10. I mean, next episode has to deliver. It has to. Next episode, you're going to find out what these people are doing, and then you're going to find out what Boyd's going to be able to do. They can't drag it anymore.
No, they cannot. Anyway, guys, that's it. We'll catch you in the next one. Till then, peace.